Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night, my friends, and I am back and getting ready to jump back into some Grim Dawn. So, as I had mentioned, um, here we are. As I had mentioned in a previous stream, we'll change to the schedule this week. Because I believe a game that I played a demo for a while back that I really liked called Blueprints is coming out tomorrow. So I'd like to play at least one stream of it. It's not the kind of game that I would do multiple streams of. I don't think. It's just because it's a rogue like, and but it's like a roguelike puzzle sort of game, kind of. So, I mean, I might do multiple streams of it, but not like back to back or anything. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. So I decided to push Grim Dawn up a day because I want to keep moving on this. So every time I jump back into Grim Dawn, I want to play a ton of it. So that is where we're at right now. So let's go and I hate to silence that song. That was getting pretty good there, but we got stuff to do here, friends. We got stuff to do. But yeah, so I was doing a little bit off camera, basically just turning in a bunch of these quests I had here. Hey, Outlaw, welcome on in. How are you feeling, sir? How are you doing? Is everything okay, or at least mildly better than previously? Yeah, you know what? Let's go and let's get our inventory a little bit sorted out here. Where's the? Yeah, it's over here. There we go. Nice. Very nice. Okay, good. Those are showing up there. All right. Awesome. Awesome. We have a little bit of reading to do. Let's do that right now while we're getting started. From the office of Councilman Cole, dear Mr. Rackford, my lovely new secretary Margaret has brought to my attention the plight of the masses there in our beloved Candle District. Such a treasure as those historic streets must not go untended, and I truly do feel for those who are forced to live in such squalid conditions. Now, I've done everything in my power and the power of my prestigious office to make certain the situation is rectified. The first thing that's going to happen is an envoy of wagons will be dispatched to the Candle District to collect the women and children. These most vulnerable citizens will be moved to brand new housing here on Crown Hill where they will be cared for. Following that, all able-bodied men will be given the opportunity to work on the construction of a new production facility with your help. The people of Candle District will become the foundation of a glorious new Malmouth. I don't expect there to be any issues from your fellow citizens in this matter now, will there? I am, after all, only looking out for the good of the people. Yeah, sure you are. Feeling okay. Procedure wasn't awful. It's anywhere from yesterday up to 10 days it should kick in. Okay, seems to be working for now. Good. Good. I hope by working it's you're able to kind of move around and maybe not have quite as much or any pain, because that would be ideal. But yeah, it's good. I'm glad that it wasn't like god awful, and it seems to at least be doing something positive. So that's always those are always the two things that are just like you just never know until you jump into it sometimes. So that's good. That's good to hear. Renok the Rat's warning. Doom set upon us in the night. It came suddenly and without warning, heralded by the screams and death call of men waking to their end. The guard barracks was hit first. They were slaughtered, run through like sleeping hens. Their assailants horrors like nothing man could imagine. I watched them from my shack, stiff as stone, stricken by what I saw. In mere moments, those things had rid the Candle District of its only hope of defense. Then they poured out onto the streets like a putrid green wave of death. The screams of men and the elderly filled my ears, and the air became thick with smoke from the green fires that now washed over the district. A strange curiosity urged me to watch. I wanted to see more, so I made my way up to the southern wall, moved silently along it, and marveled as death swept through the slums below. Men scattered like legions of roaches and were stomped out by the advancing horde. At first, a small group made it to the southern bridge and crossed before it was raised. The rest fled north to the Crown Hill gates, only to find them barred and locked. As the horrors closed in behind them, some climbed the walls in desperation, but its slippery stones were hewn to keep the rabble at bay. Most fell to their deaths, crashing down onto the scrambling masses below. Those few who made it to the top met with the blade of the Crown Hill guards, who showed no care for the plight of those beneath. The slaughter raged on for a time. Now the slums and hovels are silent. They have begun to sweep the city, collecting corpses of the fallen and corrupting those unfortunate souls who survived. I rest here now, with no will to continue, no desire to escape. There is no point. The world stands without hope against such foes, and so I will spend my final moments in peace. Runnock the Rat. Crazy. Letter to Councilman Cole. Dear Mr. Cole, Your Honor, or whatever you call yourself. Now, I ain't no gentleman or no high-class business person. I imagine you highfalutin folk up on Crown Hill don't pay no heed to lowly Candle District roaches like me. But I gotta tell you, you're gonna have a rebellion on your hands if you don't pay no attention to the conditions down here in the pits. Things are out of control. There ain't no clean water or food. The streets are filled with garbage, and there's just too damn many people. I don't know why new construction in the Candle District has stopped. There just ain't no more places for people to live. You can't just keep treating folks like this and expect them to put up with it. Now, don't be taking my words as a threat because you're new to your job. I'm writing this letter as a warning. People down here have chosen me to represent them, and that's what I mean to do. I don't know what all's been going on up there, but people down here have had just about enough. I do hope for all of our sakes you can find time in your busy schedule to attend to the issues we face down here. Sincerely, Samuel Rackford. To shatter a city, I arrive within the birth city of my vessel, as dictated by consensus. I shall now make it my tireless task to ensure that our operations in Malmouth proceed as planned and within the necessary time constraints. This vessel will prove ideal in the city's downfall. He was educated in the capital at the behest of his wealthy family with powerful connections among Malmouth's elite. He lacks all pretense of society or compassion. Devoid of empathy for his fellow man, all he craved was knowledge that others would shun or find sickening. To encourage such crude pursuits was only natural, and now he is mine. With the guise of Theoden Marcel, I shall carve into the city's elite and exploit the corrupted heart that beats within. How does one shatter a city? By allowing the rot festering within its fragile existence to flourish, and by my hand it shall grow magnificent indeed. Oh, when was this game made? Because, that sounds way too close to present times. I'm doing good. I'm okay. It's been a pretty easy beginning of the week so far. I already know this, huh? Oh, okay. We'll sell that off. Just kind of, keep it on. Try not to trying to limit my social media consumption as much as possible. Because it's gotten to it's not that I'm interacting with social media more, it's more that the social media that I barely interact with has gotten incredibly unhealthy. Let's put it that way. So I am I'm in that phase where I'm just like, I just wanna play some games and forget everything. This oh, that's bad damage per second on that one. Okay. They got a bunch of blue things. Just too much crap. Yeah, it's it's not so much crap as it is um just kind of a malaise, I guess. It's you know, I think we're all in. It feels like we're all in group therapy right now, and it's not really working. Yeah, it's one of those. It feels like that at the moment. Um, the Arachnid's Embrace. Two-handed. Oh, it's a two-handed range. I'm not doing any two-handed range stuff, but I'm going to hold on to that and do the thing there. Tome of Frigid Winds. Yeah. Okay. Epic Ring. I think we'll put those in the thing. Circus Cowl. I don't really want to. This is the one problem I have with the game is that it drops so much good loot, but then it's like, well, I can save it all, but then I keep saving everything, and it's just like, will there ever come a time? 200,000 iron bits. Oh. Will there ever come a time when I actually do end up using any of this? That is the real question. Because I'm in kind of I'm in almost a loot paralysis mode right now, where it's just like there's so much loot that all looks really, really good, and I'm having trouble figuring out what actually is worth keeping and what isn't. Bleeding damage. 696 armor. What is this? 840 armor. So that's bleeding damage, health, offensive ability, pierce, and poison. And this is energy regeneration, vitality, aether. Corruptor's robe. Oh, see, that's like a... These are both set pieces. I'm wondering if I should maybe hold on to that. Put this one. I've got two of these. With one's worse than the other one. Alright, let's take the one that's worse. Let's sell that. Make some room here. Powered wild colors skins. Damage to beasts. Wing damage. That seems very, very specific. Ooh, 10 armor. Physical damage, internal trauma damage, bleeding damage. Offensive ability. Actually looks a lot better. And that one. And this one. You know what? This one I can put back in there. Are these the same? Powered Berserkers, that's 616. Let's just get rid of these. I think anything that's not a set, I think I'm going to start getting rid of. Yeah, let's get rid of anything that's not a set. Just keep the ones that are sets. I think that's the only way I'm going to bring some sanity back to this. Eastern Leg Guards. This one I'm selling because I already have one of those. These are just like very old. One of these days, let's just pull a bunch of these out of here. I'm not going to end up using these axes. Can probably go right now. Okay. Yeah, let's just sell the rest of this.
Come see what's left of my wares.
There you go. I have a ton of things here I could be making just money off of just by selling them. Okay. Yeah, it's just like I love. I mean, an action RPG like this needs a lot of loot and a lot of good loot, and I like that this has a lot of loot. My only problem is that the amount of good loot it drops, like, it drops a lot of good loot, but they're all like slightly different, right? And as you're progressing through the game, they're all better than what you're wearing, but 10 minutes later, you're going to get one that's even better, you know, and 10 minutes later, you're going to get one that's even better. And it's like, you end up carrying around all this crap that's just you're never actually going to wear because you've got something that already that's better than what you picked up. I mean that's and you know it's and that's with I have the loot filter on too, you know, like I'm only picking up monster infrequents, epics, legendary. I guess it's time to turn off epics. And use this filter if you wish to only see rare items that are classified as monster infrequents by also unchecking the rare filter. That drop from specific enemies, also known as monster infrequents. I mean, I'll leave those on just because. But yeah, I think just legendary, purple quality, and sets at this point. And obviously, I mean, I could turn off things by type too, but like, I've got always show uniques and always show double rare. So it's both rare and monster infrequent quality, regardless of your filter settings. And then this one is unique items, epic and legendary, regardless of filter settings. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they obviously know that there was a lot of so much loot. Yeah, I know, right? It's like they know that they've given you a lot of loot because they've got a nice um a nice loot filter built into the game, but in many ways it reminds me a lot of Borderlands 1, where you get tons of guns and other things dropping, and they're all like slightly better or slightly worse. You know, it's like, and after a while, you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna sell everything, and anything that I've collected in the last 30 minutes, I'm gonna sell everything that I collected in the last 20 minutes, or the first 20 minutes of the last 30 minutes, and just keep anything that I've just picked up in the last 10, and just keep doing that, keep cycling it out. Because it'll drive you absolutely insane. Secrets of the Lost. What do I have to do for Secrets of the Lost here? Secrets of the Lost. Lost artifacts, particularly from the Arkogan era. She has implored you to enter the Steps of Torment in the Broken Hills, the section beyond the sealed ancient gates, and banish the skeletal fiend known as the Shade of Enedrin. Take its tome, known as the Archive of Fates Untold, and bring it to Anasteria of the Fort Icon Prison. Okay, the Steps of Torment in the Broken Hills. Enter the Steps of Torment in the Broken Hills, which I think I did at some point. Well, I guess I didn't find the thing here. In the Broken Hills. That's all the way down. Yeah, Broken Hills is all the way down here. Yeah, I've been to the Steps of Torment, but I didn't find... I guess I didn't find the thing that they needed me to find there, because I restored a shrine down there. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that, though. Because we got DLC stuff we still got a bunch of DLC stuff to do, so... Let's go, and what do I have to do? This is Captain Wilford at the Resistance hideout, stoking the flames. So what do they need me to do here? Several missions require attention around Stillcap District. Speak to Captain Wilford for details. And Ethereal Flesh Works. Destroy Eastern Exhaust Vent and Northern Exhaust Vent. And I've done the Southern one already. Okay. So I gotta talk to him at the Resistance hideout. Which I believe is in the sewers? Unless they moved it here. I think they relocated to this other one. Crown Hill Rift.
I know you'll miss me out there all alone, but we all have
Okay, I mean, this is where we were last time when we were doing stuff. Damn, that's a lot of guys at the door. Could you pick up the damn thing, please? Thank you. All right. What we got here? Some purifying fire there for these bastards. I'm having a party upstairs here. Oh, I just noticed these guys are green. They're level below me, so I'm not going to be getting too much XP for them. These are levels above, so that works. Just picked up some more lore there too. Some free XP. Vonda's memory. The journal is mostly full of mad ramblings and nonsense, but some bits are quite... Oh, this is the Vonda's thing that she wanted. It's her journal. That's what she meant by she lost her memory. Yeah, I'd say this fire build is quite good. Man, I can't wait until we can start actually playing Titan Quest 2 on stream. Because it's I should get back to Titan Quest 1 and finish the DLCs. I mean, in order to finish them, I have to play through the entire game again. But I pick up right where, you know, it's at a harder difficulty, and I pick up where, at the level, like it's New Game Plus, basically. And I've been meaning to do it because, like I said, there was some new DLC. The most recent DLC I couldn't play first time through because I didn't have. Thank the gods you're here. You have to get us out. We're in big trouble. Calm down and get you to safety. Thank you. We just wanted to help. Resistance needed supplies. I led a group scrounging for them. I thought I could do it. I thought I could keep them safe, but when we got attacked, I panicked and told everyone to run. Some of us hidden here, but we were split up. I don't know where the other group is. I'll find them, but for now, you need to get out of here. All right. Whatever you need to do, just get us out of here. Off you go. Yeah. That's the only problem with that game is like, that's a long game. Like, that's a really long game. And I'm not sure how far you have to play into it before you unlock the DLC. It may not actually be that far as you have to play into it, but knowing me, I'd want to play it all over again anyway. So I'd end up probably doing that, probably beating the whole thing again on the higher difficulty. But there's just so many of these that I need to get through, and that's the problem. Because obviously we're still doing Grim Dawn here, and then we got Torchlight, and then I definitely want to take a look at the Fate Reawakened one, because that looks really interesting. I have it in my library. We still have to get back to Diablo 4, or well, start Diablo 4, not even get back to it, just start Diablo 4. It's hard. I'm finding as the years progress, I think I'm starting to understand how rare it is to have a truly a true variety streamer, right? Because I'm now starting to understand more and more. Well, a true variety streamer that isn't a full-time streamer. Let's put it that way. Because I'm understanding more and more, like, there's just not enough hours in a day. This thing. How do I stop that? How do I destroy that thing? Or does it just wear out? I guess it just wears out. Okay. Because it's just like, this is part of the DLC. Yes. This is the DLC, yes. I think this is the first DLC. There's a second DLC here as well, which is that other guy that we keep seeing at all the main areas with that I keep bypassing. He's got like the green aura around him. Like, that's a whole other DLC too. That we have to do, that I want to do. So yeah, and then on top of all that, like, the game, like, I understand why, more and more I understand why this game is so beloved, because, like, you don't see end games like this that often, where it's just like, you maybe done the story, but there's still so much to the game. There's all the rep grinding that you can do, and on top of that, on top of the rep grinding, there's also negative reputation that I keep getting with all the enemies, right? The enemy factions. And what? Another survivor? Welcome to hell. We're trapped out here, cut off from the resistance by the ethereals. Calm down and get you to safety. He gets back to the resistance. There were others, though. Another scavenge team. Have you found them? They're safe. Now we need to get you out of here. That's good news. After we split up, I couldn't find them again. I assumed they were dead. Whatever. What you need to do to get us out of here, I'm ready. Um, the the negative rep that you get, like if I look at the faction list here, right? So every time I kill, like these are enemies, like Chthonians, beasts, Arcovian undead, all that stuff, and you're gaining like, I'm despised with them, right? So they spawn, I get extra spawns from them, and then when you get to hated, you get additional hero spawns. So like the Chthonians, like I'm getting like additional heroes showing up constantly for them. And then, or I'm sorry, that's hated. When you get to despise for Cronley's gang, I'm getting additional heroes showing up for that. And then if you continue grinding bad rep with them, you get to Nemesis, and then you get Nemesis spawns, which, if I'm not mistaken, drop like really good gear, right? And then of course all the ones that I'm like in the good with, like Homestead and all that stuff, you get them up. You get like discounts and all that stuff, and writs and blueprints, and then at the end you get elite weapons and elite armor and all kinds of stuff, and then you get a faction mandate, which, so basically for these guys, I have I forget what they call it, like a writ. I have a faction writ, right? And that allows me to then, from this point on, that's why there's a little plus here, I get bonus reputation for them, 50% bonus reputation for them. When you get to Revered, which is another 11,000 XP, it's not even XP, it's 11,000, points. Not only do I gain access to all the great armor and stuff that they have, but you get a mandate, and the mandate is the same thing as a writ, except you can put it in your shared character box. And so you can, when you spin up another character, you can have that, you'll have that mandate there. You can use it, and you'll instantly, as soon as you start the game, fresh and new at level 1, have the faction discounts and stuff with Homestead. It's like the end game that they've made here is very impressive, because a lot of these games, they kind of fizzle out by the end, and this game just has a lot of these like little mechanics that once you start engaging with them and you start getting hooked on them, you understand why so many people just keep grinding new, like they reward you for basically grinding new characters and spinning up new characters, doing new stuff. And I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure because I haven't played Diablo 2, but given how many people like Diablo 2 and continue to play Diablo 2 all these years later, I'm guessing it probably has something similar. And I mean, something like this, you would like nowadays we would call it like a season thing, right? Like there would be, like Diablo 4 has seasons where they have new content come out, and it's not really the same. Like this has like mechanics in it that are, they're not season mechanics, but they are just mechanics that are always there. That if they had ever done seasons at this time, they would hold you over while you waited, because they're fun enough in and of their own volition. Let's go up in here. I think more games should do that too. It's insanely difficult, right? Because it's like a lot of games have end game content, but the end game content doesn't highlight the fun parts of the game, right? A lot of the end game content that we see are like fetch quests and stuff, or side things, like things that aren't necessarily the core fun of the game. And this game takes like the mechanics and stuff that are the core fun of the game, and it makes them work in the end game. It makes them, you know, a big part of the end game. So you're doing the stuff that you enjoy doing, right? You're super duper overpowered, and now you're raffle stomping everything in your path, and you're just getting even more powerful along the way, and you're able to now like play around with your build a bit and come up with different you know different equipment to see how your build works out and all that stuff. I think my only complaint there is I wish the skill tree, I wish there was enough points to do all the skills in the skill tree, but Crystallium, what is that? There's our devotion point as well. And I wish there were enough devotion points too to do all the just do all the stuff, but I can understand that at some point they kind of had to give the illusion of balance, right? Because that's always, but that's been a bugbear of mine for just even regular RPGs, right? Where it's like they have this massive skill tree, and then there's a level cap that you hit, and you can never get all the skills in the tree. And it's like the whole point of an RPG is that you start out as a weakling and you become this like freaking god amongst men kind of thing, What is this? I think this is the first purple that has dropped for me. Legendary one-handed sword. It's a shame I'm not using swords, but oof. Very nice. It's definitely plus 753 more DPS in my main hand than the guns that I'm rocking right now. That's crazy pants. That is crazy pants. That's definitely getting saved. I think we're down to just saving legendaries and set pieces at this point. And that's the other thing too. I wish for games that have like set pieces, sets of equipment and stuff, I wish they would have a different storage for those. Because it's a lot of fun to go around and just collect at least one copy of every set. You know what I mean? And, bonus points if you have a way of displaying them. Right? It's not necessarily needed, but, like I like what PoE does, right? They have a whole stash tab that you can buy that shows off all your uniques, and they look like playing cards, like trading cards. When you collect them, you just put them in there, and it's just fun. It's just a fun little thing that makes for just. I know I just complained about fetch quests and stuff, but that's like an optional fetch quest, right? You don't have to engage in that if you don't like it. But if you do like that kind of thing, it's a lot of fun. Because I mean, you're talking to a guy who walks around in Elder Scrolls games with every book known to man, with the hopes at some point I'll have a library that I can put the books in, but they never give me one. Every Elder Scrolls game, and I never get like a library to display all the books I carry around with me. Maybe they'll do it in Elder Scrolls 6. I'm new to Grim Dawn by looking up guides. They have different color text and stats. For example, bleed is red. I don't see that in options, or am I blind? Oh, I am using mods. So I have a what is the name of the mod that I'm using? That's a good question. basically I've got, if you go on Nexus Mods, I took some visual mods, some of the really high rated visual mods, and I put those on. So that's why you're seeing like color coded things like lightning damage and stuff like that. And then also this mod will gray out stuff that, like for instance, on my revolver there, it says like +2 to military conditioning and +1 to all skills and soldier. Well, I'm not a soldier, so those two things don't really apply to me. So it's got them grayed out so I can see like, oh, these aren't really helping you, that kind of thing. Same thing with the sword I picked up. It's got +2 to storm touch, +2 to storm caller's pact. I don't have either of those things, so the sword wouldn't help me with those. Um, so yeah, this is a mod. I don't remember what mod it is, to be honest with you. Um, but I'm using a visual mod, so it improves the visuals a little bit, like the models and stuff, and the lighting. And then there's another mod. I want to say it's like Rainbow Tooltips or something like that. I think it's called something like that. And that is color coding all the stuff in the tooltips. Yeah. And welcome on in too. So yeah, those aren't like your normal options. Also, I've got a reshade going. That's not it. What is it? F6? No, F8. I forget. I think it's Shift F8 or something. Shift F6. I forget. I forget the key, but it shows when I start up the game. Reshade is also. I also have some reshade shaders on to make the visuals look a little bit crisper than they are normally. I mean, it's not much different. The game still looks really good without it, but it just kind of gives it a little bit more pizzazz. Although it does have the effect, it seems like, of making everything a lot darker. But you know, I tried to tweak it as best as I could. Spent like 5 minutes going through the options to figure out. Yeah, no, yeah. There's it's well worth it to. I know a lot of people like to play the vanilla experience on these games, but something like this, it's well worth it to. There's plenty of like subtle mods that don't change. They don't change drop rates. They don't change any of the mechanics. They just kind of give you like a little extra visual help, and that's one of them. There was one that I did have on at one point in time that actually would show me my live running DPS, and like every time you equip something, it would give you a readout of your DPS on the screen and other things. But I don't have that going right now. I couldn't quite. I had it at one point in time, and then I couldn't quite figure out what all the numbers meant, and I was just like, you know what, it's not really helping me, so I'll just keep that off off the screen. Yeah, and that's all I've really done here is just kind of a little bit of quality of life things here and there. Um, because this is really my first playthrough of the game. Um, if it had been like a subsequent playthrough or something like that, it would be different because then I'd be like, all right, well, let's see how crazy it can get. But this is really my first full playthrough, so I figured let's keep it. Let's make it look decent, but also keep it relatively straightforward here. Improvised barricades blocking this road. You can clear it out with some heavy explosives. Yep. Let's do that. Hello? Oh. There we go. My guy wasn't shooting. What's going on here? Yeah, all right. We got some friends up here. So yeah, I would like to. Oh, that's a training dummy. I keep shooting. I would like to. I've been here already. I recognize this. I would like to do the second playthrough of Titan Quest. Before Titan Quest 2 comes out, but I have a feeling it may not happen. Because I know Titan Quest 2 is going to be probably a main slot game here. I guess I can, since we broke through that barrier there, I guess I can go turn in this one quest that we finished. And get one of them off the list on the side anyway. Go. There's our rep points. Had this game for years. It confused as hell when we first bought it, so you never touched it. But got really into Torchlight 2 and decided to give this game another try and fell in love with it. Torchlight 2 helps you to really understand the mechanics. Oh yeah, Outlaw. I've been meaning to ask you if you wanted to be a mod or not. I will. Let me see if I can do that right now. If it will allow me to do these things. Yeah, Torchlight 2 is. I mean, Torchlight 1 and 2 are both good. Torchlight 2 is definitely the best. Of the series to date. So that was pretty good, and I very much enjoyed playing that. But yeah, like it's what I really like about Torchlight is it takes the action RPG stuff and it makes it a lot more accessible to people who maybe that's their first action RPG. And that's really good. Because it does really help ease a lot of people into like here's how action RPGs work kind of thing. The only problem with it being the first one though is that you kind of get really used to pets that are useful. And there's like no other action RPG out there where you have like useful pets that'll run off and do things for you, that I can think of. So beyond that, other than that, it is a good like entry point when you're trying to just figure things out. It works really well as that, and to see if it's a genre that you would enjoy. And then Grim Dawn is definitely on. It's not on the hardcore side, but it's definitely on the medium core side, right? Where you've got, and Titan Quest as well. Like they're both they both assume that this is not the first action RPG you've played, and so they both have some depth to them, but they're not crazy off the wall insanity either. Like you can figure them out just with a little bit of time and a little bit of like playing around with them. Uh, Path of Exile is definitely on the hardcore side of things, where it's like you basically get punished if you don't spend lots and lots of time figuring out builds, playing around with different mechanics, stuff like that. So, yeah, simple to learn but hard to master. Exactly, exactly. PoE you never played. It's I would say, given what you like, Outlaw, um, Path of Exile 2 is probably closer to the kind of thing that you would like because it's slower. I don't mean this negatively. It's slower and it's more methodical as far as like the battles are concerned. PoE 1 is basically go as fast as you possibly can, do as much damage as you possibly can, annihilate everything in your path. PoE 2 is more like a slugfest. It's more like it's closer to like what you would expect from like a Souls like without being a Souls like. I mean, there's nothing like a Souls like, but it's got more of that. Like it's a little bit slower. There's dodge rolls. There's a little bit slower combat. You're very underpowered compared to the enemies, and you're kind of meant to just take it slow and really like learn the moves and learn the patterns and things like that, you know? But these are the best type of games personally. The point of entry is good for new players, while PoE is I have a second job. Yeah. I mean, that's been my complaint about PoE as well, is that it's like it feels like the only way to enjoy Path of Exile is to find out whatever the current meta is, the current meta builds, and just follow them. Like I have Path of Building on the community thing, uh, application Path of Building on my computer, and then I could just download like somebody's build and just put it in there, and it just shows you all the things you need to grab and in what order you need to grab them. And it's just like I don't like to use it that way because I feel like part of the fun of a game should be finding a build, but that game is so punishing when you don't have a good build and so frustrating that you're kind of left with just let somebody else who's made it their second job tell you what's good and what isn't. You know? I mean, that's just, and that's, I think, one of my biggest complaints about that game. I like what they do. I liked PoE 1. I liked the last season. Uh, for the most part, I didn't get very far in it, but I liked it. And PoE 2 is okay, but it's straying into territory that I'm not like. It's it's hard for hard's sake and not hard for fun's sake, I feel like. And it sounds like I haven't played the latest patch, but it sounds like the latest patch made it even more difficult. Because I'm hearing a lot of grumblings about it, just the balance being just so tilted against the players that it's not as much fun. I don't know for sure. I haven't played it myself yet, but I already know that it was getting to be a little bit ridiculous, even from what I played of it, the couple hours that I played, and that was months and months and months ago. Okay. I'm not denying that Grim Dawn doesn't have easier builds to make, but you don't have to do. Oh, exactly. That's the thing, right? Is like Grim Dawn doesn't necessarily punish you for for playing around with your build, right? Like you can just play around and do stuff, and it'll get difficult, but it won't get impossible, right? And I think that's the part that makes it so much fun is that it's just like, you can make the game much more difficult on yourself if you're not keeping up your character levels and stuff, and you're not picking, decent stuff, but you can still do it, right? You just have to put a little bit more time in. There are some mechanics that are a little bit difficult to grasp. Like there's some things that work for you and against you. I think my one complexity complaint about the game is the devotion tree, because that feels like it feels like it feels like there's only one answer. And it's, if you don't really understand what your character class is or is meant to do, that devotion thing just kind of gets to be very obtuse. Like you're meant to pick one or two attributes that you really, really that really enhance your character. But if you don't really understand what attributes you want to enhance your character, then you start to just pick things at random, and it doesn't really work out that well. You don't really get the power from it that you would expect. And also the UI itself, well, I always struggle just seeing what it is I have selected and what I don't have selected and what's next and what isn't next on it. Like, it's just kind of like, it makes sense from a lore perspective as far as like, oh, it's the stars in the sky, but it really sucks as from a player perspective because you just can't, it's hard to tell where to go next and what you're looking at sometimes, and you just kind of get lost in the weeds a lot. In fact, well, we haven't leveled up yet, but when we level up next, I do have a new devotion point I need to put in, and I just need to figure out where to put it. So I think that's the only mechanic in the game where it feels like you can make a bad decision. I could be wrong on that, but that is the only part that feels that way. Yeah. So I gotta say, this DLC, I mean, they spent a lot of time on the art, and it's quite well detailed and everything. But I am struggle busing to find my way to navigate. Like, it's like there are some pretty difficult maps to navigate in the base game, but this has been like, I'm literally standing here going, where do I go next? Where have I not gone yet? Well, we leveled up faster than I thought we were. These guys are worth a lot of XP, apparently. There's a restored shrine. Alright, so let's see. I think I'm gonna put just 2 more points in here, and then devotion. Where do we go next? I mean, I could do Hydra again. I could complete Hydra. What do I get? 64 physical damage, plus 4% offensive ability, plus 20 or 20% slow resistance. I mean, that's good. That gives me 2 more red and 3 more green affinity. But what about this stuff? Wendigo is vitality. The Witchblade is chaos damage. It's not really what I do. We've got the Mantis with the piercing damage, and then Wayward Soul. Wayward Soul only has 1 star? No. Yes? No, this is Chariot of the Dead. Oh, this is 2 things combined. So this is Chariot of the Dead and this whole thing is Chariot of the Dead. Okay, I was like, there's no way there's only 2 there. Offensive, slow resistance, vitality resistance. I mean, it would be nice to have some resistances, but so we've got Revenant. Well, we don't have Revenant yet, do we? We have... Oh, he's got Energy Leech and stuff. That's probably good. Less damage from undead. Or no, we don't have Revenant yet. Okay. See, this is my problem. It looks like I have that unlocked, but I don't actually have it unlocked. Messenger of War. Kraken requires a 2-handed melee or 2-handed range. No, okay. So what about green here? What's the lightning? Well, okay. The lightning bolt is lightning damage. Go figure. What are you? I would talk the Spirit of Winter. You're cold damage. You are health and energy regen. Aether resistance. Chaos resistance. Vitality resistance. For Toad. Cunning Spirit. Fierce resistance. Defensive ability. Plus 30% all retaliation damage. So you are pierce damage. Okay, Huntress. How about you? Vitality decay. Damage. Poison damage. I actually fell in love with the devotion system. But I think being able to play with the colors and push the limits of your build is very cool. Also gives the min-maxers the itch. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I like the system. I don't necessarily like the UI because it just confuses me a lot. And like I said, I think it feels like it's the only system in the game where you can make a wrong choice. Now, obviously, you can refund your points, and I've done that already a couple times, and you can choose something different. But it does feel like maybe the only thing that in the game where you can really make a choice that doesn't make sense for your build. Um, so I kind of feel like if there's two things. One, I kind of wish there was a better UI, and two, I wish it was free to respec instead of having to pay for it. You know, like I can understand paying for respecking when, like, in your main classes like demolitionist, and inquisitor, and all those things. But I think for devotion thing, I think this probably should be like a free respec whenever you want it. Because I think that would make it a lot. It would make it a lot nicer as in terms of being able to just try some things out without a penalty, say, attached to them. Scepter, dagger, or caster offhand. No, it's not a thing. Abominable might. What does that require? I need 18 green for that. Okay. So that's a no-fly. So purple here, what do you have? I don't have enough purple to do that anyway. Okay. UI's clunky due to its age. Yeah. I think I think at some point I looked to see if a modder had changed the UI a little bit, but I didn't see anything out there that I recall. But yeah, it's this is probably, I would say, the only part of the game that kind of shows its age a little bit. All right, did I take? So I have Wraith here. Ether and lightning damage. I think I only took that because I get the, well, no, complete constellation bonus. Energy absorbed from enemy spells, lightning retaliation. Okay, well maybe we'll do Wraith here. Or no, I don't have Wraith. No, lightning damage, aether damage. I'm not really doing lightning damage. Widow, aether damage. I feel like I need resistances. I wonder, let's do resistance. So what do we got here? Ether resistance. I think I need aether resistance, because I think that's the one thing that really hurts me is the aether fire. So let's do AETH. Aether damage. Aether damage. Ether. Then okay. It's thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. And have a good meal and a good rest of your day. There is 8% ether resistance. I could fish out the empty throne here. And get the aether resistance on that. let's do that. Let's finish out that one. What was this one here? And then we can finish out Hydra next. Yeah, let's just try to get a little bit of a resistance going here. What's my... Alright, I have 34% Aether resistance now, which is good. I think the only thing... Physical resistance is the only thing that I'm really, really lacking in. But everything else is up there, which is good. More physique. Yeah, okay. So that's good. Also, there's a thing here. That was fast. Holy crap. Alright, killed a bunch of enemy heroes there. Get all the reputation points. All of them. This boss is back again. Bastards. Okay, so we got some of that going. Good stuff there. All right, excellent. Cool. I found the way I'm supposed to go. There's a quest marker here. Okay, so there's that. There's one more of those things to destroy. These guys are upstairs. Having a party upstairs. They didn't invite me. How rude. Letter to Theoden Marceau. Good. So I was thinking about I can't go that way. I keep trying to go that way and it's like you can't go that way. I keep thinking about a game that was in early access that ended up never getting made because the dev actually got into an accident and had like head trauma and stuff, and they just couldn't they couldn't focus anymore, which is just insane. Uh, when you think about it, it's like, focus is everything, and to just have like an accident of some kind and have enough head trauma to be like, well, now you can't focus on anything long enough to be able to accomplish anything. That is just so bad. But I was thinking about, because I was like thinking to myself, like, what kind of games would I want to make? Like, once I get a base engine going, where do I go from there? Because I have a vague idea, but I don't really have a, anything solid. And there were really two things that came to mind. And one of them was this game. It was called Rogue System. And the best way I can describe the game is to say it was essentially Microsoft Flight Simulator for space, right? It was like you had a whole startup sequence and everything you had to follow to get your spaceship working, and then you'd fly around, and eventually there were going to be like things to do around the world, and probably missions or something, but you never got that far. You only got to the beginnings of it. And I thought to myself, I like the idea of having the sim stuff, but I think where I would sort of depart there
That's locked.
is, where else do I go here? Holy crap. This is a maze upon a maze upon a maze. It looks like there's a thing around this other side here. Like, it seemed like I had to go this way, but I couldn't figure out how to get through that gap there. Is there a way through that gap? It looks like there is. Oh, I could walk this way. Okay, I did not realize that was a thing that was connected. And I like the idea of a simulator that's like, like a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing for space. The problem with those kinds of things, at least for me, is that I feel like you need something more, at least when it comes to a sci-fi game. Like, Flight Simulator is good in and of itself because it's modeling real life, and a lot of the people who like that like to have an affinity towards flying, or themselves are pilots, you know what I mean? And so it can kind of get away with just being what it is. But when you're in a sci-fi setting, you don't have that same kind of audience per se. And so you kind of have to bring something more to it. And I was thinking to myself, like, I really like X4 and how X4 does things. But what if you were to combine kind of simulator-esque things with X4, but then take X4 to more of a lean more into the management part. So in other words, in X4 does this thing where you do have to, where you're like a coordinator, an organizer, right? You're not really the manager of a space station, but you hire the managers of a space station. You own stuff, but then you hire people out, and you kind of sort of have a business that you run, but it's not really called that in game. It's not really structured that way in game. You're still basically a freelancer, um, and you just kind of hire people to do things for you. And that's fine and well. But I was thinking about, like, playing Elite and playing Star Citizen and stuff like that. They kind of go the more sim route where it's like you are just a single person out for your own, just your company is just your company. You don't really necessarily hire other people or anything like that. You're just kind of a free operator thing. And like, what would happen if you were to kind of take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and be like, what if instead of, say, doing the asteroid mining yourself, what if you were a prospector and you just had to find some decent asteroid field or a decent asteroid somewhere, and then once you found one, you would then, as part of owning a company, would hire workers to go off and work those those plots of land that you've acquired and stuff, and you would passively gain your income from that, and then you would basically be the coordinator of things. You would, or be more than the coordinator. You'd be like the owner, the manager, kind of thing. And what if for exploration stuff, for the exploration stuff, instead of being like, oh, you're going around and collecting biology data and then selling it off, or you're collecting, you're scanning star systems and selling that data off. What if instead of that, you were basically in the search for colonizable worlds and stuff? And the idea was that you would try to find a world that would be a good, suitable place for a colony, and then you would then build a colony on there, or you would sell that to like AI companies, to not NPC, I should say, NPC companies, and then they would, build upon it, and you would get like a portion of whatever profits they made or stuff like that. What if it was more of like almost like a tycoon simulator kind of thing, but it still had some of that space simulation aspects to it and things like that. That's kind of one of the ideas I've had sort of floating around in my head. The real problem there is where do you end up in the spectrum of like space station sim type game? Sort of. Like you would have space stations. It's more like you own a company, and part of owning that company is that you have various things that you can branch out to. If I were to, I guess the best example would be like American Truck Sim. You have a trucking outfit, and then you go around and pick what routes you're going to do. Now, in that game, you go and do the routes yourself, although I think there's some concept of sharing them with other people, if other people can join your group or whatever. But you're still taking it all upon your own shoulders, kind of thing, and you're still, I guess not. That's not really the question. You're still hands-on, and I'm like, what if you were slightly more hands-off, and your goal was to really be basically the CEO and figure out where you want to go next and what would be good investments and all that stuff, and then NPCs would come and mine, do like the grunt work, as it were, and Actually, I think this took me back to where I needed to be, because this loops around, right? So I don't know. It's kind of a vague idea in my head still. Like, does that, because I started off thinking, like, what if it's just a pure sim kind of thing, like a flight simulator thing, but then I'm like, is that really going to be sustainable for a space game, right? Or do you really do need something more? And then, given how much I enjoy X4, I'm like, well, they're definitely hitting on something good there. But they still have very much that sort of single player is not the right word, but they still have that very much that the world reacts to you and you alone kind of vibe going, and it's you're at both levels. You're at the hands-on level and you're at the overarching level, and it just feels like sometimes it would be better served to just pick one and go with that. But it's really I don't know. I don't know. It's still a vague thing. So I thought by coming back here that this would get me over to that other area that I need to go to, which I think is up here, but oh, you know what? I think I can't go there yet until I turn in this quest, maybe. I guess we'll go down into the sewers again and see if I talk to someone down here. Maybe not. This is Captain Wilfer at the Resistance hideout. Slay the Guardians of the Sanctum of Flesh. Stoking the flames. So, where's the Resistance hideout now, I guess? I guess that's the Steel Cap District, maybe? Yeah, here we go. Please forgive me. You've done so much for us already, but I must beg of you to help me. What is it? My mother and my daughters were taken when the Candle District was attacked. Those things just poured through the city, rounding up women and children. Some were taken alive, but they even took the dead. I don't know if they're alive. It may be a mercy if they're not, but I need to know. I can't live thinking they may be out there somewhere suffering. I'll do what I can. Okay. Yeah, so we can turn this in. You again. I remember. I remember? Yes, I do. I remember you're supposed to find what I forgot was lost. Did you? Have you found what I lost? Yes, it's right here. 17,000 XP. Oh, the note. Yes, it's directions. Directions to what I lost. What did you lose? I don't know, but I can find it now. I can find where it is. The note will tell me. Okay, good luck. Let's go over here and put this away. Any other? That's a set there. 840 armor. Yeah, we can put this away. I thought I had put that away before. Blood Reaper's coat. Oh, that's why I need to get rid of it, because it's a duplicate. 66 bleeding damage. This is the worst of them, so that one gets sold off. Okay. Okay. I think I can sell most of the other stuff here.
I'll keep an eye on this.
If I can find the dude to sell to, here we go.
See anything you like?
What do you have? We have 2 blueprints I don't have. Okay, that's good. In the meantime, you can take these off my hands. Go. That's a set piece. Okay.
See you around.
Lapis Manticora, Vengeance, Mammoth Arcane Waistguard, and Bladed Waistguard. Oh, I forgot to sell this other thing
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
as well.
See you around.
Got something you need stashed.
Let's put this ring away. And we're good there. What do I need for this? Oh, 721 physique. Oh, I'll never have 721 physique for that. 429 for these. Yeah, this one I'm never going to be able to wear. How about 464? 464 lightning damage. 557. This requires 468 spirit. That gives me 25% more aether resistance. What do I have on? I get elemental resistance, elemental damage, Inquisitor seal. Vitality resistance, aether resistance, offensive ability is plus 4%. Energy regenerated is up. Prismal bond. I need to be level 65, which we're almost level 65, and I also need 468 spirit, which I think I could do. So let's hold on to that one. It needs 429 physique. Okay. And oh no, here's another purple. Okay, so I did get some purples before. Alright, I just don't have, I should have a tab with just the purples. But we'll get there. Is that the same thing? 57. I feel like I have multiples of these Praetorian chest guards. Oh, I do. Oh, that sucks. I wish I could see. I mean, I could search and see them, but they're going to be. I can only search one tab at a time. It's going to be a lot of stuff. Alright. Whatever. Whatever. Slay the Shaper of Flesh. How do I get to that? I feel like that's up there. Yeah, the flesh works yeah. That's where it's right next to that shrine that I did. Oh, here we go. This is, I think, where we need to go. Maybe? Oh, and there's enemies up here. Yep, this is the thing. Fleshbound entrance. Fun. The infestation. Alright, these guys are a bit of pushovers here. Which is good to see. That's the exit already? Really? Oh. Well, it was a surprisingly short map. That took me by surprise, given how sprawling everything's been. Let's go. Let's make sure there's nothing interesting over here. Grind a level or two. I was gonna say, this is now we're seeing more of the map. I can't go. that way. There's that. All right. Cool. Fire just works so well. I am happy about that. Okay. Doing here. Still melting enemies. Okay. Couldn't shoot those. It hurt a bit. Yeah, it's all that lack of physical resistance. starts to really get me here when they come in close, start pounding on you. Right. Into the flesh works. The bloody. I have no idea what that guy said other than something creation. No. Everything is on fire. Set fire to it all. lot of repositioning just to not get smacked around. Ow. Quit that. Is the big dude. The bone monger. Explains why he's hitting like a truck. And he's dead.
I underestimated you in Burwich.
Too late.
Not make that mistake again.
Unfortunately, it's too late to save these people. Oh, was I under a timer? I didn't realize that. Oh well. I don't think I was under a timer. I think that's just part of the story. Anyway, this guy's going down pretty easily, so I'm wondering if he has a second form. Nope. Nope, he doesn't. Got a Chivo. It's you again. The only way to stop this horrific machine and end the woman's suffering is to burn it to the ground. Alright. Burn the womb. Is all I have to say to that. I still have to slay the Shaper flesh, though. Which I apparently have not done yet. Oh, I gotta go this way? Damn. Not all at once. Line up to be murdered. Don't push and shove. I got enough bullets here for all y'all. So that just puts us back up there. So, oh, I see. There's a thing over there. Is that where we came in at, or is that where we have to go? That's the next question. There's stuff over to the right here. That's the exit? Factory exit? Oh, destroy. I thought I did destroy it. Slay the shaper of flesh. I thought I destroyed that though. It still says it there, but let's see here. Maybe I didn't destroy it hard enough. There's a flesh collector here, so maybe this guy, boss. Hagarond? What a bizarre sight. A free human here. Then perhaps we can come to an understanding. You must know that I no longer carry favor with the ethereal masters. For my actions against the master of flesh, I have been imprisoned here until my final judgment. Spare me my fate, and I shall continue to fight for the survival of humans. I promise you this. You're an ethereal. Why should I believe anything you say? The Master of Flesh thinks of humans as little more than brain-dead accidents. He would never imagine a human coming here willingly, much less prepare a trap for one. I am what you see before you, a traitor to my people who has been found. It won't be long before they come for me and return me to the Aether, where my true judgment awaits. A traitor? As I lived within this host, I learned more of your passions, your joys and sorrows. I learned what it was to be human, and I found it fascinating. Others insisted that I quell what you call emotions, but they offered a euphoria that I had never experienced before. This led me to question the methods of my ethereal brethren. While I had the fortune to possess a human of noble and uplifting spirit, it is clear that many of our kind have possessed less virtuous humans, and I see a corruption spreading among many who have led this campaign to conquer your physical realm. Accustomed to moderating human emotion and sensations, the vices and flaws inherent in some of your kind have become amplified and driven by my brethren beyond ruthless efficiency to depravity and deliberate cruelty. I feel that if I could return to the Aetherhold and convey my experiences, higher powers might intervene and cease this invasion. However, the Master of Flesh and other leaders of the invasion do not want the greater ethereals to know what is happening here and will never let me return. Although, even if I could return, I do not know if any intervention would come in time to help you. Time and thought seems to pass much more slowly in the Aetherhold. Why can't you simply leave? I've been bound here by the Master of Flesh. The crystal barrier between us keeps me trapped. Open it and I shall be free to escape this place. But know that your mercy will not be forgotten. Fine. Don't make me regret this. Okay. So let's go. So is that still there? It's not marked on the map anymore. Let's just see what this path is here. Fleshy entrance. I don't feel like that's... I feel like that's where we came in at. There are no enemies there. The thing's not on... marked off on the map anymore. Was there anything else I was supposed to do here? Oh, I see. Well, it does say slay the guardians of Sanctum of Flesh is checked off. Just to slay the Shaper of Flesh is not. I guess we go through this single door that we can go through. and see where it leads. So that did lead back to the infestation. Alright, so what am I missing here? Slay the Shaper of Flesh. Where the frig is the Shaper of Flesh? There's not much more to this map that I can tell. Unless there's something up in the corner there. Oh, there is something just appeared. Oh, Ethereal Rift. Right up in this corner, huh? Hmm. Oh, that took me all the way back out here. Ah, I see. That was just a fast way back out. Oh, Living Flesh Door. Oh, well, that's just lovely. Okay. Sanctum of Flesh. Oh, well, this seems like the right place. Oof, oof, that hurts a lot. Okay. Ugh, I gotta do the run back. Go here. See, the only problem with this run back is that you have to wind your way through this whole frickin' place again to get over there. This takes me back down to there. At least they put a rift there anyway. And let's put I put a thing here. Yeah, put a thing there. Maybe.
Enjoy reshaping the legend flesh.
Yeah, I can stand far enough away and just keep hitting them. Alright, there's gonna be a phase 2, right? Figures. Ah, it's freaking. I hate those damn. Those damn meteor things. Can I teleport to this rift gate from here? There we go. Should I get my experience back though? That's 8,000 experience. This guy is just a pain in the ass. I mean, I'm doing a lot of damage to him. It's just... He's just crawling up my ass here. There we go. Oh, does he have a phase 3? Yep, he's got a phase 3. He's more of a pain in the ass. I think he's the first boss with a phase 3. One corner seems to be relatively... Whoops. I was going to say relatively safe, but I got stun locked there for a second. Alright. Okay, back out we go. There we go. Got him. Just keep showing up here. Take that. Iron bits. This hurts a lot over here. Okay. Just not go that way? I mean, I wasn't staying on the stuff there, but... Okay, it's just hurting me for the sake of hurting me.
I can't do that yet.
Alright. Yeah, it wasn't... Alright, it's fine. They just don't want you going back there. Whatever. Have to go grab my XP. Okay, Outlaw, have a good night. And I hope you're feeling even better tomorrow. And yeah, we'll catch up later. Hopefully on a stream. So yeah, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Alright, so we did that. That is now done. So we can go turn that in. I do believe. The resistance hideout. Okay, so we'll go over here. Does it mean you found my mother, my daughters? I dare not to hope that you bring good news. I found the women and children. What happened to them? Are they okay? The ethereals are using them. What do you mean? You mean they're alive and those things are using them? Yes, to birth their foul creations. Oh gods, have mercy on us. What are we to do? How can we fight an enemy that uses our own bodies against us? We can't go on knowing they're out there suffering. It's more than I can bear. Mark of Illusions to Mark of Illusions. I've destroyed the factory. So the captains no longer suffer? Thank the gods for you. You've done so much for us, but I fear this is not over. You're probably right.
Have you found any supplies?
Still looking.
Tell me, what happened to the Fleshworks?
Master Flesh is no more.
So it is finished then.
Cord
The
of
demise
Violent
this
Decay. Ooh,
fiend,
legendary
a
belt.
major pedestal in the ethereal hierarchy crumbles. Their forces here will become rudderless. Their collective will be scattered. Malmoth is a great victory for mankind. It will become a symbol of our resilience, that we are not done fighting for our right to exist. And we must keep on fighting in the name of those who sacrificed their lives for humanity itself. We will never submit.
So what's our next move?
Can't afford to underestimate our enemies. There is a real possibility that the Ethereals will retaliate in some way for this loss. We must be prepared. The first step will be to exterminate the remaining Ethereal presence and secure Malmoth against a possible attack. Between Fort Icon and Malmoth, we now have major fortifications on both fronts, with access to the coastline and shipbuilding facilities. But every victory costs us lives. While the Ethereals are nigh limitless, every move we make must be carefully planned.
Agreed. Okay. So that's good. So I think, what was that achievement we just got? Defender of Malmoth. Complete the Ashes of Malmoth. Okay, that's what I thought. So we actually completed that DLC. Although there's still some side things to do, so obviously we'll take care of those. And then at some point we'll get back to the Ancient Grove and try to do that thing, but I need a key for that or whatever. cool. And then the next DLC guy has been waiting for us this whole time. So we can probably do that as well. Once we go back to the sewer hideout or whatever hideout we really want to go to, it doesn't really matter at this point. But this is good.
Come see what's left of my wares.
So I've learned those already. We can probably sell that off. So this is the belt they just gave me. 60 armor. Frostburn, cold damage. Fire damage converted to aether damage. I don't know about that. Drain essence, arcanist skills. Yeah, not too sure on that one.
See you around.
Let's go put this away for now. And can transfer all those over.
It's safe with me. Promise.
All right. Well, it's actually almost time for me to call it anyway. We're a little bit early, about 5 minutes early, but this is a good stopping point, I would think. Ooh, Hellion Greaves. Thank you. I'll take those. I suppose. How did that chest just respawn? I think it respawned because there was. I would have thought being out there in the open like that, I would have seen it by now. Yeah, cool. Cool beans. All right. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it for this week for Grim Dawn as well. And like I said, tomorrow night, I believe, Blueprints is coming out. So I would like to play that, at least, again, probably just for one stream, but, you know, it might be something I revisit at some point. Who knows? But I enjoyed the demo, and I want to see if I can, what I can do with the full game of that. So that'll be out. And then Friday night and Saturday will be some coding streams, with Saturday night being probably Helium Rain. I'll probably play some of that. And then Sunday, we'll jump back into some X4 Foundations and do some more stuff there. I am still off camera doing things in Elite Dangerous, doing mostly just research or exploration and exobiology and stuff, and still on a long 260 some odd jump thing just to get out to where I want to be, and then do some exploration out there, and then we'll have to come all the way back to get back into the bubble and everything to trade it in. So that's going to be a long running thing, and I'll do probably most of that off camera, but we'll still have a few weeks where we jump into that and do that. Yeah, I think that about covers it for right now, my friends. If you happen to run across this on the YouTubes and you have a like or a subscribe that you can spare, that would help out tremendously, and I appreciate it greatly. Also, I'm trying to build up a community over on Moonbeam. It's a brand new streaming service that has spun up, that has like Discord-like functionality in addition to streaming stuff. They're in open beta now. You can go over and create your own account and just take a look around and see what you see. There's a few streamers over there right now. There's some communities spinning up. If you're interested in my community, it's called Continuum, and it's If you go to memoryleakdeath.tv/moonbeam, it'll take you right to that realm. Otherwise, you can just go to moonbeam.stream and just take a look around. See if you like what they're up to and what they're doing. There's a couple public realms that you automatically have access to, like video games and stuff like that. So you can just go in and chat without too much upfront needing to know anything upfront. So things of that nature. So that's going on. Otherwise, my friends, that is it for me for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm trying to get my cursor to come off that screen there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. I don't see anyone do anything right now, so not gonna raid out. But otherwise, see you. Bye.
Who are you, and how did you get in here?
I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.